Okay, part 2. Major setback today. Yesterday, my tripod failed. I had to go get me another one. And my God, that is expensive. I was just like, wow, this nuts. But anyway, it is what it is. We're working right here. The exhaust is in front of it. I don't know what to tell you. There's no good angle for you. All right, so I'm gonna start by putting these bolts in. Now, if I said this once, I'm gonna say it another million times. That first bolt, when you pull it in, okay, it has to be, I mean, you got to be able to pull it in like with two fingers. Because you got thread locker on, you won't be able to, what am I trying to say? Odds are you won't be able to turn it in with your fingers, but you can do it like this. Roll the engine. If the torque converter does not cooperate and you get any amount of friction for the torque converter to slide forward, something is wrong. They should slide really, really, really easy. There's no reason why the torque converter should hang up. Actually, that bolt here, it did go in by hand. A little bit of a struggle, but not much. Again, I know you can't see. I can barely see, so it'll be all right. The hole is right there. I showed you the hole. And in an effort to make a shorter video, tell you what's going to happen next. So we've got a few bolts missing in the housing. All right. So we got a few bolts missing in the housing. We got our bracket that needs to be bolted back on. After I put these plugs back in, the plate back in the front, once everything is torqued up, I will be replacing the stub shaft, put it back into the trans here, and also do the other side. I'm going to hook all that stuff back up, and then I will mount the frame that goes in here. I showed you that frame. I'm going to try to link the torque specs in the video, because like I said, I'm kind of a little bit in a hurry. Well, not in a hurry, but I like to get this done. A little bit tired because it was a late night last night, and well, just that. Let me pause that camera up and I'll turn the camera back on when I made a little bit of headway. Well, let's do a little bit of an update. Subframe, motor mount, lids, all the bolts on the bell housing, torque converter, stub shaft is in, carrier bearing is in, CV axles are in, stabilizer link is hooked up, steering links are hooked up. I have yet to do these bolts on both sides. Let me get my bearings here. Man, I don't know that I like that tripod. Stubby. I would be lying to you if I told you that wasn't a pain in the neck on these here, but doable. Don't take that long. So, like I said before, I'm going to try to make these videos a little bit shorter because this is a lengthy process. I mean, we're not done. Not in the slightest. Pan's still got to come off. I got a genuine filter and a genuine fluid sitting over there on the table. So we still got to yank the pan off. Matter of fact, after I'm going to tighten these two nuts up, I'm going to go ahead and take the pan off and at least change the filter. If the seal needs changing, we'll change the seal. Most of the time, if that seal is real pliable, I don't change them. I don't mess with them. So a little bit of an update. I mean, you can imagine that the filter change is done. We sealed everything up, put the pan back on, cleaned it. Of course, you got to clean the magnet up. I didn't show all that. You see other transmission service videos I got. You want to know that part of it anyway. Now we're putting some oil back in this unit. Yes, that is the Mopar ATF Plus 4. That is what I'm putting in here. That's exactly what I'm going to put in there. Filter is genuine filter. I'm a firm believer in the Wix filters, but in this case here, honestly, I mean, to be truthful, the OE filter is actually cheaper than the Wix, and it's an OE part. I mean, it came straight from the dealer, so did the oil, so there's no differences there. Learned a long time ago, only because you can buy something that has a name on it does not mean that it's the right stuff. So, to name one, if you're interested, AC Delco, like the filters, AC Delco filters that you buy at Walmart and those places, they're not the same as what you get at the dealership. Just saying. Anyway, give me a minute, fill this up. I'm gonna pause you back up. I'm gonna stick the rest of the bolts right here. I'm gonna stick them in, bolt the bracket back up. Okay. Take your can, put your hose in. I've already went the other way with it. I've done that off camera. You can't blast it really hard, but so the fluid is coming out. It's right there. Like I said, I've already done this procedure a couple of times. I used on right at the whole bottle. I use brake clean. It'll evaporate. It'll be fine. It's not going to hurt it. So you can use brake clean or AC flush. You know, that works as well because it evaporates as well. Denatured alcohol. There's many things you can use. Brake clean does work. Like I said, it dries out, so you're fine on that. So whenever you get a little bit in your bottle, go ahead and empty it. You're going to end up making a mess if you don't. So once I've emptied it, like I did just now, I'm going to let the air run for a little bit. Got my finger over the hole. So now that should be good enough to put back where they came from. These plastic retainers that are over the top of it, just a quick tip, these right here, if they don't snap on the fitting, your line is not in place. The line is not securely in place. These snapped on, they made the sound, the snapping sound, so these are on there, they should be just fine. I started, I don't know if I said that a while ago, I started with 5 quarts in here. Of course, we got the oil cooler that got flushed, so we might need a little bit more this time. I went ahead and bought 8 quarts just in case. I bought the full 8 quarts. Normally, like I said, I've never ran into where you use a full 8 quarts, but normally I don't flush coolers and everything unless there's a major failure. So I've got the top bolts in. I got a pump, air pump plugged back in, or bolted back up, plugged in. Well, it's plugged in too, but it's bolted back up. I'm fixing to do an overflow tank, set it back in here, route the hose, get the hose back over here, put it back on. And then we're going to work on a battery tray to get the battery tray in here and see if little piggy wants to start up. Well, after I get the hood back on, that is, since I ended up having to take it off. Wasn't aiming to, but I did anyway, so anyhow. You already know that story, so let me get the camera adjusted. Right there. I guess I'm getting used to tripod, so. Don't forget to clip the hose back in. Probably a good thing not to forget. Zeus, did I run over you just now? Don't run over the dog with the service card. Oh, look at there. For those that always cry about it, right back in the same place. I'm gonna give you a close-up right there. Well, not a close-up, but I'm gonna let you see this. So down here, this is the little, not bracket, but the little clip, the metal clip. I hope you can see that. I'm trying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying. It's down here. There's a little metal clip that slips in there after you slip it in. So it's hooked back up just the way it's supposed to. I'm hoping you've seen it. Anyway, there's that part. And I'm going to work on the battery tray to get it back in place. Still got to do that. Get rid of our bottle. Put a warning label back on. Warning label, so important. Just kidding. Noggin in the way. Yeah, we know. Now, million cables here that you have to get right back into the spot where they go. Which I did not already messed up because I didn't get it in the right place. Now, I'm going to pause you up for the rest of it. It's just me bolting the battery tray back in. One more thing while I think about it. Remember the bracket we was talking about in the back, the motor mount that's in the back. Remember the bolt on the side that we only tightened a little bit. Make sure that bolt gets tight. So make sure you get that tight so it don't get forgotten. Remember all your wire clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four on the battery tray alone. Remember that all that stuff goes back on so we don't have any loose wires laying around. Of course, Lord knows that's not the problem with these vehicles, but anyway, just kidding. So on this one here, I really don't know what all is required, but anyway, all I did is go to the menu here. We can do a quick learn or we can do a driving learn. Preferably, we're going to do a driving learn, so I'm not going to do that. Clear, learned variable line pressure. We're going to definitely do that. We're going to clear all that, see if there's any adaptives that need to be cleared out. Functional tests. Yeah, so there's only one parameter that's available to me to clear. So I'll go ahead. Well, I went ahead and cleared it. You see me do it, so we're going to drive it. That's just all there's to it. So data. This is a Dodge, so we're going to have to go into data. I've got several videos on it, I think. I'm not going to go there with you right now. There is a chart. Look it up on my other videos. There's a temperature chart and there's a measuring device, so I'm not going to go through that part of it. I will, however, turn the camera back on. I've obviously got the hood on and everything, so air box is back in. You know, we got all that stuff hooked back up, so we're good in that respect. But I suspect it's a little bit low on fluid because it doesn't go in gear like I like to see it. So anyway, I'm gonna pause you back up. Oh, you can't see nothing again. Well, there's nothing to see. I mean, other than I got everything back together. I got plug out right now, so I'm gonna turn the vehicle on, let that thing warm up, and see where we're gonna go. There's one thing to be said. while this is heating up, I did just stick it and add oil because there was nothing showing just yet. All right, so I knew the transmission wasn't acting right yet, so I knew it had to either one, have fluid, or B, the transmission's messed up. This is the Chrysler measuring stick, and still nada on the stick that I can see anyway. It did have transmission fluid in it. They did not drain that unit, but they may have drained the torque converter. You're doing it at home, and you don't have a way of removing it through the dipstick, you might want to take it easy on pouring whole quarts in. Now remember, these things are up to 8 quarts fill, so it is very possible that I'm going to use every last drop and some. So there we go. I'm a little bit too full already, I can tell you, because we're just now at 92 degrees on the oil. And I'm at 30 millimeters, so that's a little bit too much, but that's not a problem. We can take some out. I want to get the temperature up in at about 110 or so, 120, a more usable range. It seems like adjustments are a little bit better at that temperature. So I'm gonna pause you back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you talked me into it. It's not like I don't have time. We're at about 106 degrees right now. Okay, so here is that stupid chart that we got for, we're at 106, so we're just going to take the 110, which is right here. So here is your fluid level. I hope you can see that fluid level in millimeters. So we can be up to about 28, 29 millimeters, something like that, at 110 degrees. I like to get it up a little bit more. Minimum and maximum right here, you know, it's a pretty good range that you got, just like on a regular dipstick. It's the same thing, different method of checking it. I think they do it just to irritate the mechanic, to tell you the truth. But anyway, nah, just kidding. Anyway, that's the range right here. Now you have a chart again. You know, we've done it many times. So now that the oil has actually gone down, let's see what we got. So like I said, we're at 107. So 107 is approximately 12 to 30. We're going to call it 12 to 30. So 12 to 30, this fluid level indicator here is right at a 30. So technically, this should be the correct level. But like I said, I like to give it a little while and let the temperature go up. And we'll verify it at a higher temperature. I don't really like checking them at lower temperatures, but other than that, we should be okay. We'll see here in a minute. I'm gonna pause you back up. It's gonna take time. I'm not gonna brake torque the transmission or anything like that to speed it up. Don't want to do that, so bear with me. Guess one thing to note, I don't know your situation, if you're in your driveway or whatnot have you, if you're in the area where there's gravel or anything like that, you know, use a piece of cardboard. Lay a piece of cardboard on a transmission. Right now is a real good time to check and make sure you don't have anything dripping. That's a problem. You know, I check the lines over here to make sure that nothing is leaking right now. Of course, the fluid pressure is higher when you're driving than what it is right now. Goes without saying, it's an automatic transmission. But anyhow, this would be a good way of telling if you do have a leak so you can see it right now and address the problem before you're going down the road and all of a sudden your transmission starts slipping. And also, mind you, I told you we had a little bit of spillage from disconnecting the hose. That has been remedied. I added a little bit of Chrysler coolant in it. So keep that in mind, you know, get the reservoir filled back up so the vehicle's not running low on oil and, antifreeze and end up overheating. 120 degrees up to 32. You know, this is going to take a while for this thing to heat up anymore. As far as you know, that chart, it is there. Anything in those ranges, we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. I hope you like it. I hope you got what you needed out of it. I'm going to, if I edit it early, then I'll remember to link all or post all the torque specs in there with it. But if I forget, just hit me up and I'll give them to you. So, thanks everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, leave some comments in the comment section. We'll see you on the next one.